Howdy, folks. Welcome to a somewhat impromptu show where we're going to be talking about how I paint different miniatures. There's been a lot of chat on our previous shows talking about how people have been painting for themselves and how they've been they might get a little discouraged by their painting or how they're painting or why they're painting. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick how-to on painting myself. Hey Charles, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for showing up. In this way, people can see how I paint. People always, I'm sure it's because they're wanting to be nice, but people always tell me that I've got, good looking miniatures. Hey, hello, Caleb. Welcome. So, yeah, there's probably some, they're just being nice, but I think there are some people that genuinely like the way my models turn out. So I thought I would give a little, I don't want to call it a tutorial because I'm not telling you how to necessarily paint these particular models, but it's more of I'm going to show you how I paint these models. And maybe in doing so, give those that are not feeling, up to scratch because they're seeing these golden demon level paint jobs out there, and then you see mine, and they're definitely just, they're tabletop quality. They're game ready quality. So I've got two models. Let me go ahead and kick over here. There you go. Got two models today. And we're going to have McMurray joining us. He's on his way back from getting some gaming done. So good for him. But he's got some Star Wars models to paint as well. So he'll be joining us presently, as it were. Anyway, the two models that we're going to be looking at today are Fantasy Flight and now Atomic Mass Gaming. They're two of their models. And the first one is going to be Darth Maul. And you'll have to bear with me. I'm dealing with this camera. There we go. Come on, focus. So we've got this Darth Maul. He is going to be, I'm going to be using regular acrylics for him. And then I've also got Yoda here. And I'm going to be showing you, always during live does it act up like this. When we're not live, it focuses fine. When I'm, backstage playing around with it, making sure everything works, it works fine. But no, it's got what a pain in the butt. There we go. There's the Yoda. So those are the two that we're going to be painting today. Like I said, hopefully they come out nice. Hopefully it works the way I want them to work. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tackle the I think I'll tackle the standard painting first with the Darth Maul. Now I always paint the skin. I paint from out to in to out. In other words, I'm going to paint his, and there's not going to be a whole lot of painting to him because, I mean, honestly, he's a red and black skinned character with black, mainly black clothing. Now, what I do like to do is I do like to look up a photo of, Darth Maul or Yoda or whoever I am painting up on the internet to get, kind of an idea of what they're supposed to look like. And yeah, he is in all black. So with red, red facial features. Now I don't. A lot of times, I use just regular. That's transparent red. I don't want transparent red. I want, there you go, flat red. So I use a mixture of Vallejo or Viejo and War Painter paints. Primarily, right now I'm using Viejo or Vallejo. And so we're going to go ahead and start getting this red paint on here. So also I don't spend a lot of money on my brushes. Just picked up this pack, less than $5 at Walmart. To be honest, I know there's people out there, oh, I'm going to use I don't even know the fancy name, the Bose Higgins or the Smith & Wesson or the, whatever brand fancy dancy paint brushes that, cost $15 or more a brush. I don't see the need for it. But that's just me. That's just me. But I mean, if you want to, by all means, go ahead and do it yourself. I do like the little paint tray. You can pick one of these up for, like, I think they might be 97 cents now at Walmart. So, we just a little will go a long way here. Don't get too much in there because we're not painting a whole lot. And this is a standard acrylic. Nothing fancy. I know there are guys out there that really, really like using oils. I have not gotten to that level. So we got 4 folks out there watching. Hope y'all are enjoying me talking about my painting and what you're seeing so far. I know I haven't done a whole lot. So with Darth Maul here, let me see if I can get a little bit more light on what we're looking at here. With Darth Maul, what we're going to do is we're going to paint the entire head red first, and then we're going to go back and kind of stylize his face tattoos. So just get a good get a good base coat on him first. So base coat. When priming, again, you don't have to spend a lot of money on primer. I know Vallejo and War Painter and Citadel all have their own brand of primer, and it can be color based, etc. But when I prime in black, I just use this Rust-Oleum 2X Ultra Cover flat black, and Same thing with the flat white. Now, Krylon makes some, for you wargamers out there that do World War II, Cold War, etc. They make, Krylon makes camouflaged colors in a flat paint. So that's what I use when I'm going to, paint up a tank or a bunch of soldiers. So yeah, let's go ahead and now I probably don't thin down my paints as much as a lot of people do. For whatever reason, I have a hard time dealing with having to go back over and over and over again. So, yeah, it's that's one of the things I don't like about how a lot of people paint. And it's not that I don't like how they paint. I don't like to paint in that fashion for myself. It's just it might look like it's gloppy and goes on heavy, but in the long run for me, it ultimately does work out. So here we go. Now you'll notice that when I'm dealing with a black base, oh, there's Mr. McMurray now. Howdy, sir.
What's up, man?
How's it going?
Not too bad. Sorry about that. Let me find my Darth Maul here. Wah, 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 wah. Waka, waka, waka.
Cool.
How far behind am I?
Not very. I have just started talking about how I lay down regular base acrylic paints.
I thought you were doing contrast. Now I was going to do acrylics.
Well, I'm doing contrast on Maul, and I'm going to do contrasts on Yoda.
Okay.
So yeah, they're going to get to see both, and they'll get to see my style of painting, and they'll see your style of painting.
Very
true. It's all good. What I was talking about is when I prime, I started off with, you don't always have to use the most expensive stuff like my brushes. I bought a brand new pack of brushes today, like less than $5 at Walmart, and I got
Amazon.
These four brushes here. I got a 10-0, a 5-0, a 3-0, and an O brush. I also picked up, for the same dollar amount, some angled brushes to lay down, large amounts of paint over flat surfaces. Which I'm going to be using on.
Did you show your super technical prime or palette?
Well, no. I told them that I like my little cups.
Oh yeah, you actually have a palette.
Yeah, that you can get for like 97 cents at Walmart.
Mine's a blister.
What McMurray is using is the back of a blister pack
for fender washers.
Yeah, for fender washers. Yeah, which are amazing for bases also.
So sure, for the Jedi, the non-all dark figure, should I paint this Luke Skywalker or not Luke Skywalker or not Mace Windu?
Dude is not Mace Windu, man. Because
well, I think I'm actually we'll do that one later. I'm gonna do the not Luke Skywalker so I can have a dark figure and a light figure. So I already have.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
This goober in mainly black colors.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to just lay down an entire layer, I think, of like German camo gray on Darth Maul, just as his base. Because basically everything on this dude is black or shiny black, isn't it?
Yeah, except for his lightsaber and his head.
Aren't his like boots or something like a brown leather, or are they black too?
Well, like I was telling people, I like to go in and look at photos of who I am painting, if there are such a thing.
I was about to say the
And
exact opposite. If I don't know, I just say nobody else will remember and go for it.
yeah, no, dude is in all black.
Okay.
I mean,
I
he
feel like that
is.
sometimes.
Yeah. Now, what I will do in situations like this is like on Maul here is like his belt and his boots. Instead of just doing like a dry brush of a lighter gray, I will actually paint them. Oh, what color is it? Where is it?
Like Necromancer Cloak or German Camel
Yeah,
Gray.
yeah. Actually, the German. What is that? The German. Yeah,
German
German gray.
70.995.
Yep, that's the one. See.
That's what I'm using right now, which is almost identical to the Army Painter Necromancer Cloak, for the
Actually,
record.
they've changed it.
What?
Necromancer cloak is a lot lighter now.
Oh, well, the one I've got isn't. The one I've got is damn near identical, like indistinguishable.
Yeah. So now the other thing I was saying is when you are painting on black, um, the color that you put down is not going to be as vibrant.
Correct.
So for his lightsaber, what I want to do is actually paint the blade white, and then go and put down the red on top of that.
What color did you prime the model?
Black.
Ah, see, I did mine in gray or in tan, khaki, knowing that I'm going to put red on his face and then I'll do the weird drawings and stuff in black.
Yeah.
But yeah, I primed in khaki. And then for the lightsaber, that's going to be the only thing on here that I use a contrast paint on, because what I've done with the other Star Wars lightsabers that I've done, it's not great, but it's something, is I'll put white on top of this khaki near the ends.
Yeah.
And then in maybe a couple streaks running up the lightsaber. That way that shines through when I put the red on it, the whatever Blood Angels red or whatever the hell it is from from GW, the contrast paint.
Right.
But yeah, that's how I tend to do lightsabers now.
The Fiston red time. Or whatever.
Yeah, it's not too bad. This is a 3D printed Darth Maul.
Oh, there you go.
That I paid 0 shekels for, which I'm a fan of. It also occurred to me that I have like a metallic black kind of thing. I feel like that's going to get a good amount of usage here.
Right.
Okay, so there's my black layer down. What color were Luke's boots? They were like tan.
What color?
Everything was like tan. I'm painting him up like he just got his lightsaber on Tatooine.
Yeah, he's gonna be a khaki, light khaki.
Yeah.
Different shades of I think his boots is good enough to be brown. I mean, not everybody has the first off, most people have more than one pair of boots. So, if it's not exactly the right color that you see on in the movie compared to
then
your
to be
model,
honest with you, the color balance on your TV is probably messed up. Because this is the right color.
Because the other thing is, he's got multiple pairs of boots, man.
Well, yeah, but these aren't going to be like his fancy shoes. Like, these aren't going to be the shoes that Mama says to take him anywhere.
Right.
No, I'm gonna do is like
Any warm-up says prime, and more prime. Charles says to have painting skills not in my lifetime acceptable. Ah, no, man. I've seen what you've been putting out quality-wise, and it's, you know what, it's good enough. If let's put it this way, and this is something that everybody needs to understand. I'm not normally a you got to know this type of guy. I'm not the type of person that says you need to know this about something. In this situation, you need to know this about yourself. Paint to your happiness. In other words, don't worry about what other people paint, how they paint, how well they paint. Never compare yourself to somebody, because there will always be somebody better.
Unless you're James Wapple.
Unless you're James Wapple.
And then you just got to be better than yesterday's Wapple.
Yeah, exactly. So I look at James Wapple stuff and I am just amazed.
That's because James Wapple paints in better resolution and color than people can take pictures. So, yeah.
Right, exactly. He paints using a graphics card that will do 480 frames per second and 450 billion colors.
Think of like what God would see if God did a bunch of acid.
Yeah.
And so when
you watch James Wapple paint, you hear colors.
Exactly. And they're all happy.
And I know it just kind of like what Charles just said. I won't ever have. Do I have the potential to be that good? Yeah, no. I do.
Oh,
no, okay. I do. If I spent the amount of time and effort and years that he has perfecting his craft, yeah, I could do it. Do I want to do it? Hell no.
I'd still be a little Mr. Shaky Hands. I'm good.
Will I ever be as good as Mr. Wapple? No, because he is always getting better. He is always perfecting his craft. And so he will, to the day he stops, will always be getting better. Just like we will. Until we stop painting, we will always get better.
Correct. The essence of practice, baby. That's what I was going to say is Chuck or Charles, if you're not happy with where you're painting now, find an acceptable painting standard that you like, that you live with, that you enjoy, that you can do, and keep doing that. Because you'll get comfortable with it, and then you'll say, man, I bet you I could do something else. I could do a little bit more. And then you'll do a little bit more. And you'll do a little bit more. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how Jay Wiley got me to use highlights.
Yep. He says, no worries, I'm happy with what I've done. Only been one figure that for me had to be fixed. Well, there you go, Charles. Glad you got that going on for you. My buddy Gordon is here. Hey, Gordon. He says, hey, Chris, everyone.
Gordon, how are you, buddy?
Glad you're watching, buddy. Glad you're watching. He is a guy who I would sit and paint with. He and my son Kyle and Donna would all sit down together at the table, and we would all paint together. And you want to know somebody who's really, really good at painting, and she had never painted a miniature in her life before she met me.
Given that you said she, I think it's not Gordon.
No. Yeah, she had never painted a miniature in her life before she met me. And then, boom, lo and behold, she started, and let's put it this way: her first miniature looked as good as my 100th miniature.
Yeah, I remember Hippie whining till he was blue in the face about how that wasn't possible. That was entertaining.
Yep.
About how you can't just be naturally good at something. I think we got a re out of him at that point in time.
Yeah. Reese is in the house. He says, "Hey y'all, getting groceries, but hope to watch soon. Come on by when you get the chance, Reese. Love to have you." Charles says, "I've got one of Violet's figures coming along with my shirt and a coffee cup. Outstanding." And then Gordon says, not me, but I did some good ones back then. Yeah, you did. You put out some pretty good work there, buddy. All right. So I got Mr. Man here. And let me see if I can find what I'm looking for. Okay. I'm not going to use contrast on his lightsaber blade. What I am going to use is this transparent red, which is essentially kind of the same thing.
What transparent red is it?
It's Vallejo's transparent red that they've had out for years.
Okay. Like a red ink sort of thing?
I guess. Yeah, it's actually one of their model color paints.
Oh, nice.
They also have a transparent blue, and that's what I use to do the cockpits on all my fighters, on all of my airplanes.
I would imagine that's what you would use for like Luke's lightsaber also, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, is anything on Darth Maul silver other than his lightsaber blade? Probably not. Shit.
No. Maybe buckles on his boots.
Those are not modeled on this figure.
Okay. If they're not modeled, don't worry about them.
Amen.
Again, he's wearing a different pair of boots than I've got the model that where he put on his Sunday best to go kick the ass of a couple of Jedi. You probably got the model that he put on the pair of boots that his going to his 9-to-5 job.
Yeah, he got his casual Friday boots on.
Yeah.
Sorry, something was knocking outside my window, and I was really confused as to what it is. I have no idea what it is, but it seems to have moved away. Nope, it's still out there. I don't know what it is, though. Does his red paint go all the way down his chest?
What's that?
Does his red paint go all the way down his chest? This Darth Maul has a bit of a Hasselhoff thing going on.
So
it's all
my
good,
Darth Maul. Yeah, my Darth Maul has his cloaking is pretty well done up around his neck. So
mine's feeling sexy,
again,
so we put on a V-neck cloak today.
Yeah, so Warman says, "Hey, welcome back." Oh, welcome back, K-Man.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, how's it going? Charles says, "Also get the free dungeon PDF printer. Ran out of ink. Already have the dungeon deck. Nice. Painting a ton of Fallout type mutants. Oh, outstanding, Chris. Cool." Warman saying hi to folks. Gordon said his teeths were silver. Well, I'm not seeing any teeths right now. Charles says Warmut been collecting stuff and soon gonna have a mass paint and build trash day. Outstanding. Gordon, hey Chris, you can do a wash in red on his chest due to the lightsaber. Yeah, I don't do object
You don't
source
do
lighting.
objective source lighting?
No, no, but maybe someday I'll get a wild hair up my ass and do it. But yeah, no, not that may be something that I would like to learn to do. But right now, I'm just wanting to getting the basics done. Again, I've said this many times to many people. I don't paint because I like to. I paint because I have to. And what I mean by that is that I don't like having unpainted models on the table. Therefore, I have to paint them because I'm not about to go pay somebody to paint my models. Now, that being said, somebody that does want to do that, if they're like me and they don't like to paint and they don't want to take the time and effort to do it and they've got the money to pay somebody else to do it, by all means, go ahead. I'm not telling you that you're doing the hobby wrong.
Yep, you're not a bad person, you're not a lesser of a gamer or anything like that. You just got a different way to do it. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I paint because I have to, not because I want to. I know people that find what I'm doing right now to be very, very relaxing. Donna is one of them.
I was say there's lots of people who collect and paint armies, and that's their hobby. They don't even play that much.
Right, exactly.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right. No.
Just look at Warmut. He barely ever plays anything. He paints all kinds of stuff. I'm just kidding.
He wants to play. He wants to play.
I just played Sword in the Flame today, and that was awesome.
Outstanding. Yeah, how'd that go? How was the...
It was the battle was essentially the Battle of the Nizani River, however that's pronounced, Nizanye, however it is, which was the coastal column of Chelmsford's advance into Zululand, crossing the Nizani River. And historically, the British reconnaissance cavalry kind of caught the Zulus out on a reconnaissance mission and not necessarily intentionally goaded them into an attack, but the Zulus wound up attacking them, pursuing them, and then in their retreat to the main column, they brought those Zulus in, and with the Zulu attack coming in piecemeal, the Zulus were defeated. I was playing against two very fun guys. I would imagine they're probably still either packing up or driving home, but Mike and Kevin. And they were the British.
Shiitake and Portobello?
Yes. And they're good dudes. I actually really enjoy playing with them. Kevin is the guy who, if you're part of the Big Muddy Facebook, Kevin's the guy who's always posting he coordinates all the events and all that stuff. He's pretty awesome. And then Mike's just a great dude. But anyways, and then John Bancroft, who runs a lot of the local stuff here, was the GM. But so they were the British. John kind of helped me get a hold of the Sword in the Flames. It had been a minute since I played. I mean, same with them. But I brought the Zulus in a big horde. The idea was I was going to try and do the Horns of the Buffalo thing, which is fine. My hidden movement and variable movement didn't quite work, so my left horn wound up getting there early. But I brought my left horn in pretty strong and diverted a little bit of more of the resources to the left horn than I originally anticipated. And that got them to commit and wheel to face it, which then meant that my center came in and engaged their left flank and held the left flank in place held their flank in place for my right horn to sweep around the back and capture their wagons, and then fall on the back of their line. So that was pretty pretty fun. That worked out about as well as I planned. And yeah, so it was a fun game. It's always a fun game playing with those guys. But yeah, this is wild. So I'm painting a lot faster than I usually do because usually I'm batch painting and I keep forgetting about that. So I have like wet paint on my fingers and I'm accidentally touching stuff that I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because usually I batch paint in at least 5 or 6. This got 2 guys going here.
So let's see here.
One thing that I like to do with white, just while Chris is reading. Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah. Walkabout Games says, me, it's my therapy to paint. Or my therapy is to paint. Hey, more power to you, buddy. I'm glad you've got something to help you cope. That's not me.
Chris needs therapy after he paints.
Right, exactly. Gordon says, funny you said that 21 years ago, saying some things never change. Yep. I've never enjoyed the process of painting. Charles has got some more Reaper orcs to flesh out. Some of my orc squads and a second command team. Oh, nice. Sword and Flame is an amazing set of classic rules. I need a copy of those rules, says Chris Long. Hey.
Well, Chris, I'm going to give you a hint. Don't buy the PDF. It is quite literally just a scan of every page, which means that the file is huge, the quality is low, and you can't send it off anywhere to be printed because it's too big of a file. I made that mistake.
And also, if it's just a scan, they probably didn't OCR it, so it's probably also non-searchable as a PDF.
I have no idea what that means, but
so
just grab it on. You're good. I'm just saying, just grab the paper copy. A, it's a pretty good looking book. It's not a bad book. And B, yeah, it's worth it. It's a little weird though, because you have to buy from like Larry Brown's like daughter or something on some weird site like Governor's 4 or something. It's a pain in the dick to find. But it is a very good rule set, and I would highly advocate anybody playing it who wants to play some fun. They're not exactly quick play, mainly because they're designed to be kind of mass battle, but they are fun rules. They're simple to understand. Yeah. I like them quite a bit. Okay, so there's Luke mainly blocked in here, huh? Luke is mainly blocked in. I need to get a teensy tiny weeny brush to do Darth Maul's horns. Hello.
So what I am doing now is putting down that German, what is it? German gray? What the?
German gray.
Yeah, German gray. And it's just light enough to give you a change of scenery, if you will.
Yeah, I tend to put it down. That honestly, that's my first layer. Because then when I put a black wash on it, you can see it, and then you can come back with a black wash or with the same color, and bring it back out, and then even go a hair bit higher if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tends to work fairly well.
It is one of my favorite colors when I paint.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've basically stopped using just matte black paints, because even when you just want to throw a wash on them, you throw a wash on them and nothing happens.
Well, the other thing about especially in the majority of the scales that I normally work in, it actually works as a black better than black. So for instance, this guy right here.
How are you painting this Duber's face? Like, are you going to actually try and imitate this?
Oh, I'm gonna put some black slashes on it and make it
Okay, cool.
appear to be similar. So it's the same way. It's the same thing I do when I paint the camouflage on the 16000 ships. It's not exact. I want to give it the appearance that it's right. Okay, so on this M60, come on, focus, damn it. Okay, you're being an ass.
Painting Darth Maul, Chris. Your computer's trying to help you focus.
There we go. All right, so the black on this M60 isn't really black. It is that German gray, but it looks black when it's you got the green or the green and the khaki and the sand and the brown. It looks black because it's on such a small scale. All right. Let's see here. Mini Warmut says less talky, more worky. Hey, Warmut, I don't see you doing a live show doing painting.
He's going to do quite a bit of it here in April, so don't worry about that.
Oh, he'll be doing a lot of painting. He just won't be doing a live show.
Maybe not. Maybe so.
Welcome back. Chris Long says, good to know. He's laughing at Mutt. McMurray, those ships look awesome. What scale? Those are your 1/600th, aren't they?
These are 1/600, yes. They will be making an appearance at March to Victory for those of you who are coming. Right here from, you can only really see Olympia right here, but there's Brooklyn, and then New York is on the other side. Yep, they will be making an appearance at March to Victory. They will also be making an appearance not this coming Thursday, but the following Thursday in St. Louis Mo at the Thursday retirees game that I plan on attending to play. That I plan on attending, that I'll be play testing that game. I don't know if these ones in particular will make it or if I'll use my 1/1000 scale, but
so back then, back in the day, the New York was an armored cruiser.
Yes.
Okay.
Not the mobile city that it is now. Because the New York now is colossal.
Well, even in World War I and World War II, she was no slouch as the sister ship to USS Texas.
Correct. I believe she was actually the class leader.
Yeah, so the thing about that is, although
I know Texas was launched first, I know
USS Texas was launched, and this actually had come up. A British person asked why, if Texas was laid down first, launched first, commissioned first, why is it the New York class and not the Texas class?
Because it was designed as the New York class. Look at the Valiants, you dick. It happens in your Navy too. I don't actually remember if it's the Valiants, but it happens all the time in the British Navy too.
But it's with the United States Navy, it is based off of not when they were launched or commissioned, but when they were authorized. And it turns out that USS New York was authorized prior to USS Texas. And actually, they were authorized at the same time. They were authorized BB-35, BB-34, BB-35 at the same time in the same year. They just decided to name 34 New York and 35 Texas. But for whatever reasons, Texas was able to get laid out on the ways a lot faster or a lot sooner than New York did.
Correct.
Chris Long says, looks great. 1/600 looks amazing. Yes,
yeah, especially I like it with this period too, because it's not the range. Your primary rangefinder and target acquisition is the Mark I human eyeball. That's all you got. So, you do 1/600, and then, your standard. My standard go-to is I can stomach if I'm trying to play a game that's on a scale like having 4 ships on a side. I can stomach having a range or a ground scale abstraction of 2-to-1, right? Not a problem. Which makes a yard a little over a kilometer, right? So then all of a sudden in 1/600, if you have room for a floor game, it's beautiful, right? Because that 6,000 yard engagement range for big guns, if you can put it on a floor, 6 yards, that's cool, man.
Charles says, I've been a busy morning, out early, errands and groceries and gas in the car, vacuuming my carpet, yuck. Recognize a bit in room and put my Napoleonic board games on one separate shelf. There you go. All right, so
okay. Are you to wash yet, Chris?
What's that? No, I am at dry brush. I dry brush
before you wash. Okay.
Yeah. But because what I do is I dry brush, wash, and then if I need to do and really actually, yeah, I'm not at dry brush yet because I gotta. No, yeah, you're right. I'm bass backwards. I gotta get his tats on here first.
Yeah, I just did that. This is a Battle Valor miniature, and Brian said Battle Valor was running a 50% off sale, which is bad shit.
What?
So I'm about to waste a bunch of money with them again, which isn't a waste because their figures are fantastic. I love them. But yeah, so congratulations, Battle Valor. You're about to get a bunch of my money again.
Dr. Mad Studios in the house says, hello, Hammerheads. Greetings from Britain. That's a reference to the Rebel Hammerhead ship that ran into. You mean this guy right here? Yep, absolutely.
What is that? Is that from Star Wars?
Yeah, from Rogue One. This is the little ship that decided, hey, we've got a knocked out Star Destroyer. I can use my thrusters to change the inertia and make it crash into the other one, and then both of them together can crash into the shield gate.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, it was one of the best scenes in Star Wars ever.
That's fair. I really like that movie.
It is honestly, it is in my top 4, almost top 3 Star Wars movies.
Okay, so we got 1 drop of strong tone onto the drop of flesh wash that's there. We're going to do a couple drops of soft tone because we need a lot of soft tone for Luke. Probably should have just put the soft tone in there, not the strong tone, but that's okay. Oh, I should have got more soft tone while I was at Miniature Market. That was dumb. It's okay. We're just going to have to water it down a little bit. It's all right. I already know I was going to have to do that, so I'm not too worried about it. We'll start on his boots, not on the white part. That way, if we accidentally made it a little too dark, it's not the end of the world. I don't think we did, though. See, this is when a wet palette would be nice, because I'm almost to the point where I'm putting this wash on, and most of my paints are still wet on my palette, but they certainly won't be by the time the wash is dry.
Right.
But I'm not a wet palette girl, so who knows? Not that, again, there's anything wrong with using a wet palette. I know Jeff actually uses a wet palette when he paints. But your boy McMurray does not own a wet palette, so no wet paletage here. I've been thinking about that, though. Yep, go for it.
I got some black on his face. It's not great, but it gives the impression. And that's all I'm going for. I am not. Well, for one thing, I can't see well enough to be able to do the intricate details like that. Also, my hand isn't steady enough, nor is my paintbrush. My paintbrush isn't tippy enough, as it were. So it's all good. Let's see. Mini Warmut says Battle Valor sale ends on the 6th. His website is off, but has an eBay store or uses order form. Also, he will accept an email with your order and send you an invoice with grand total.
Accurate. That's what I'm gonna do. That's my favorite. No, he's such a good dude. He's got a cool line of figures too.
Yeah. Chris Long, Rogue One is epic. It feels like a classic war film. Yeah, when they were talking about it before it came out, the director, Gareth Edwards, said, "We're going to put the war in Star Wars," and I think he did it.
I like that.
I agree 100%. Dr. Matt Studio says, "I agree with Rogue One. For me, at least, is the best Disney Star Wars film. Absolutely." I certainly wouldn't mind seeing Gareth Edwards returning to Star Wars.
Who's Gareth Edwards?
He's the director of Rogue One.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know if he was an actor or what. Okay.
No. He's the one who directed it.
Did a very good job.
He's like my age, so he is. It is absolutely his. I mean, it's my dream to be that involved with Star Wars. Sure. So how's everyone doing? Not much happening in my corner of the world, but that's to be expected in winter. Well, right now, honestly, it is 48 degrees, and that's about 35 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. So, and these are Fahrenheit. It's not,
I'm a fan. Yep.
Oh, absolutely. Gordon says, "Don't worry, Chris. I can't do it anymore either," referring to the fine tattoo work on the Maul's face.
Man, I made way too much of this damn wash. But that's okay.
Put it in a bottle.
No, how am I going to get it off of this turd onto a bottle? Or into a bottle?
Mm-hmm.
Magic, man. Magic. Magic. Chris believes in magic. I believe in magic. In a young girl's heart. So I hang out with Todd so much.
All right. If I keep jacking with it, I'll fuck it up. So I'm not gonna go anymore. That's the other thing. Stop when you're ahead.
You can always come back and paint over it if you want to.
Many more months. That's 77 here. Yeah, it's 77 there now when it's 45 here. But when it's 77 here, it's going to be like 140 there. So suck it. Warmut lives in Arizona, boys and girls. Dr. Matsuyo says it's nearly 11 p.m. over here, and it's currently 6. Now, is that 6 centigrade / Celsius, or is that 6 in Fahrenheit? because one is much colder than the other. I can deal with 6 centigrade.
I was about to say, we're about to be 6 centigrade. That's not too bad. Okay, now I got to wait a minute and let these things dry.
Okay. So honestly, there's not a whole lot of washing that needs to be done on this guy.
That's the nice thing about contrast, man.
Well, with again, I'm not doing contrasts. This is still regular acrylics, but being that he's all black, there's just not a lot to do with it. That being said, I am going to go ahead and hit him with some Nuln oil to go over his boots and his lightsaber.
It bugs the shit out of me how long GW's washes take to dry.
Yeah, there is that.
But, it's just one of those things, I guess.
For me, washes and oil, like the shades and the all the different style, that style of paint are, let's be honest, we'll call it what it is. It's liquid talent.
Yeah.
And I have no problem using it.
So here's my thing with washes. These style figures, these old figures, older style, right? These old metal models that have deep detail, those take washes so incredibly well, as opposed to like 3D printed detail where all the details to scale, but that means when you shrink it down 56 times smaller,
right,
you don't get as much out of it. So that's part of the reason why I really like these older style miniatures. And I know people poo-poo them and they do all that, but they're really, they lend themselves so much to easier and faster and less painful painting.
Oh yeah.
That I can't stay away from them. They're great. I love them.
Okay. So do I have it handy somewhere? I've got a red wash. I saw it the other day. It's another one of my problems with painting is that I've got so many different colors.
Oh, see, I don't.
That I can't find half the time what I'm looking for when I want it.
I am not the kind of guy who buys like the full paint sets.
Oh, neither am I. This is just over years of painting.
But I mean, you got all 78 or whatever contrast paints, didn't you?
What's that?
Didn't you wind up with?
I did get the first original full set of.
Yeah, that's my only point. Like, I'm pretty sure because that's what 78 paints.
No, it wasn't that many. It was like not contrast. It was like maybe 30 something, maybe.
Oh, I was about to say I've been using this little turning guy. Well, it's a tower thing, but then I put a little Lazy Susan off Amazon underneath it, and I think it holds like 60 paints, and that's all I've got.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm kind of pissed that I bought these speed paints. They're not bad paints. I just don't use them.
Chris Long says, KISS method of painting in my house for painting.
Amen, baby.
Jeffy's in the house. Hey, Jeffy. Hex to Hex says it's cold as crap centigrade here.
Jeff, I'm almost done with these two figures, and it's been almost an hour. Are you excited?
Says Dr. Matt Studio says, at least I've got my first convention of 2023 to look forward to on March 4th. I can't believe I've been going to these cons now for 10 years.
That's awesome, buddy. Where are you going on the 4th?
Someplace in Britain. Yeah, drop it down here to let us know the name of it. Charles says 72 in my room outside is high 60s tonight, mid to high 40s. Dude, that is like the premier spring weather. Love it. Mini warm-up, 3 more Celtic Archers to go, and I'll have a set of 12 ready for tabletop. Outstanding warm-up. Loving it. Dr. Madge says, for anyone wondering, I live in Merseyside, which is on the northwest of Britain, not far from Liverpool, where the Beatles come from. Oh, outstanding. We got quite a, I don't say we have quite a few. We do have a couple of British watchers from now and then. We do have a British correspondent.
We do.
Mr. John Harrington.
The John Harrington himself.
He is currently probably imbibing and dealing with not having to deal with work this weekend. Hopefully.
Yeah, he's down south too.
And then Gordon says, "Dang, Chris, you've got more paint than Sherwin-Williams."
Accurate. You know who's got a ton of paints?
So I found my Reichland Flesh shade that I'm going to do a quick run over on his head to pull out some details. Yeah, I think that's going to work out nice.
You know who's got a ton of paints?
Jeff?
That warm-up boy. Yeah. Well, that warm-up boy and that hex to hex.
All right. We are almost done with... Now, you are a lot faster painter than I am.
Yeah, I'm highlighting already.
Yeah, Hexy answered your question. Says, me. He said, yes, you do. And you didn't pay for them either.
Correct.
You did pay for some of them.
Those were supposed to be warm-ups paints.
Dr. Matt Studio says, I'm actually going to a Doctor Who convention in my neck of the woods called Who at Hoylake. I've got a lot of other hobbies outside of Star Wars. Oh, very cool. Very cool. I love me some Doctor Who, man. Doctor Who is great. And if you, excuse me, if you ever want to see a great game of Doctor Who being played, check out, if I'm not mistaken, on Wiley Games channel here on the YouTubes. I think he's got a video of his Doctor Who game where Doctor Who and his companions show up in medieval Europe to fight off the knights, which happen to turn out to be Cybermen. So great fun there. Okay, Warmud is doing weird things. Face orange frowning, face orange frown, and face orange frowning. Oh, I guess he's
angry about Hexy getting all those paints.
Deal with it. All right. So he's coming along right nice, I think. If I could get him to damn focus. Here we go. There we go. He's coming along nicely. Why won't you... You bastard. Okay, hold on. I will make you focus. Turn autofocus off. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so I think he's turning out right nice. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick dry brush. Let's go ahead and turn the autofocus back on. I'm going to do a quick dry brush of this German gray. Now, dry brush is not my forte. I'm not really good at dry brushing. My brother is excellent at dry brushing. He, in fact, many of his models are a base coat, or once it's primed, he does a base coat of whatever base color he wants, and then just dry brushes up from that. That's how that in a lot of ways that's how all of his painting is. And the stuff looks good, It's a different style than the way I paint, but that's okay. We don't all have to paint in the same fashion. That's why I'm not calling this a tutorial. This isn't this is how you should paint. No, this is just an example of how I paint to let other people see that it's not as hard as you think it is. So, and for supposedly being a flat black, this is the shiniest damn flat I have ever seen.
What's that?
This primer.
What did you prime it in? Did you spray it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. Yeah. Rattle cans are rarely ever really matte. What spray is it?
It's the Rust-Oleum flat black.
Oh, really? I've had pretty good luck with that, to be honest with you.
I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just it's a lot shinier than what I was expecting it to be.
Oh.
And that's okay. I'm even going to base this dude today.
Oof.
Because you want to talk about cheating? The biggest cheat there is when it comes to finishing the base is Luke App's Scenic.
Geek Gaming, baby.
Yeah, Geeks Gaming Scenics or whatever it is.
Geek Gaming Scenics, baby. Amen.
Let's
if I'm
see.
in the U.S., tell me your name and I'll write goofy shit on your little order note if I see it. I did that to Brian, I think.
There's going to be a few guests attending, like Colin Baker and Sophie Aldred. Oh, nice! I love me some Colin Baker. He's a decent cat. Oh yeah, here's another dig for you, Brian. All those paints are in Hexy's closet in boxes. Dr. Matsuya says, but Fraser Hines, who was the second Doctor's companion, Jamie McCrimmon, is the one I'm hyped about most. Oh, outstanding. Yeah. Even though I wasn't around in the 60s, the late Patrick Troughton is my favorite Doctor. He was a good, he was, for original Doctors, the first, was it 7? Because I don't, well, there's McCann, the 8th Doctor, but it was a one-off movie. Yeah, they have him in canon, and he counts. But that was just a weird gig all around. But and nothing, not taken away from him, but he almost sits outside of the regenerations. Because he had that one made for TV movie. But as for the original seven doctors,
Okay.
man, I like Pertwee. You know, I like him. You know, banging around in the old chitty chitty bang bang style car. The yellow. Oh God, what was that car's name? I can't remember off the top of my brain now. Uh, um, Peter Cushing played the Doctor in those Dalek films. No, no. Now, my all-time favorite Doctor, and I'm sure the classical Doctor Who fans are gonna give me the right act, but David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, was my favorite Doctor of all time. So, um, but yeah, that's just me. All right, well, here he is in all his glory. I think I did a pretty good job with him.
Oh man, you're done.
I gotta put the bass on him. You know, I gotta
Oh,
base him
paint
up.
his horns, Chris.
Oh shit, yeah. I need to.
Come on, dog.
What color am I gonna put those on?
Mainly, I'm telling you to paint his horns so that we can be done at the same time.
Ah, okay.
Because
I'm gonna use a little khaki because they're supposed to be kind of a bone colored.
yep, I'm using Iraqi sand. It's one of my
I'm
favorite
using-
colors in the Vallejo range.
I'm using. Actually, if I can I find that one? I know I got it.
You have to. I'm sure you have Iraqi sand. Everybody uses Iraqi sand.
I think I've got like 4 bottles of Iraqi sand somewhere.
Probably so.
No, that's tan earth.
Iraqi sand is a super light khaki.
Yeah. Where are you? There's another khaki. No. Where are you? No. There's skeleton bone.
I'm really hoping that Jay and or Steve watches this because I'm doing highlights on these two goobers just for them.
Look out. Let's see here. Charles says, I'm hoping one of the light gray paints will pass for IG and gray for my zero I'm going to build this month. I don't see why not. Dr. Matt Studio says, Nerd grew up watching Doctor Who, so I didn't get into the show until 2005 when it was brought back. Pallid Bone Speed Paint. Well, I don't have Pallid Bone Speed Paint, Warmutt. Pallid Bone Speed Paint. Who does he think I am?
I don't know, a dude who has every contrast paint that came out.
Well, not since they re-released the new formula. Ooh, brass. I'm going to need that later for my Oscar class. Yellow ochre, monster brown, another bottle of khaki.
Sound like you have a problem with khaki, like I have a problem with field gray. I have so many bottles of Vallejo field gray.
Brown sand.
Or, I'm sorry, RE Painter field gray.
Well,
Because for a while there,
yeah.
I was painting so many World War II Germans that, like, every time I was cutting through field gray so fast that every time I stopped at the local gaming store and I was like, oh, I should buy a bottle of paint, I'd just buy a bottle of field gray. And then I wound up with like 4 or 5 bottles. And I felt like a goober. Okay. Oh, shit. I got to paint their lightsabers. And then I'm done, Chris.
Okay. I'm going to use Ushabti Bone.
The hell is that?
Citadel color.
Like a contrast paint or a?
No, just an actual. It's one of their quote unquote layer colors.
Oh, okay. So that's one of the slightly thinner ones. I kind of like those. It's kind of like painting with other companies like airbrush colors just to start with.
Right.
You can get that dry palette-esque consistency to your paints without having to water them down or worry about that. You can just kind of run with it, and it works pretty well.
Damn it.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, I just messed up a little, is all. Not a big deal.
Nothing you can't just take a paintbrush and dab back on there, my man.
Yep, exactly.
Maul's done.
Is he based?
No.
Okay, he's not done. I kid.
It's fine. I'll base him. Ooh.
Okay, I'm going to go about this a different way.
I really hope this Aethermatic blue, man, works for blue lightsabers. I've never painted a blue lightsaber before. Ugh, I don't know about that.
Now remember, his blue lightsaber is a light blue.
Well, that's good because that's a light blue.
Oh no, that's the right color right there. You got it. That's it. Show that to me again.
Hang on a sec. I just added a bunch on there, so I'm gonna try and take it off again. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we say Shalakazam time. I'm going to call that at an hour. Given how long it took me to get in here and get sitting down. So, again, no excuses. I'm trying to dull out this light so I can get some gentler light running here.
While you're doing that, Dr. Matthew said I would have loved to have met Patrick. He sadly died of a heart attack on 20th of March, 87, while attending the Magnum Opus Con 2 convention in Columbus, Georgia. Yeah, that is the suck. Let's go ahead and pop you up here.
That's not very gentle light at all, is it?
No. Hey, I like him. I like him a lot.
Got a Luke. Again, that's a really simple paint job, but
it's effective, though. I mean, anybody that knows Star Wars will see that figure and know exactly who it is. Oh, yeah, there you go. Very nice.
I tried to approximate the basic idea of his face tattoos, but it's not very easy. But yeah, so his cloak, it's hard to tell in this light because it's black, but he does have a shitload of dry highlights on his cloak. Basically, I just took where I had the white and I had the German camel gray, and I took a little bit more white off the little white dot because I didn't have to use that anymore, mixed it into the German camel gray, and just kind of kept going and painted a little bit less each time.
There you go.
But now it's basing time. Then I'm going to base them up like the rest of my Star Wars figures. So let's get going here. I'm going to need to get a new bottle of this Vallejo Earth Texture Brown Earth because this is damn near out.
All right. Well, my Maul is going to have to dry while I do some touch-ups to him. So I'm going to start working with contrast on Yoda. So the thing to remember with contrast is that whatever, very similar to what we talked about with Maul, and the black paint will make the red be kind of a darker compared to on the white. You got the same thing going with contrast paints. You're
way worse.
You're gonna want to go with a light colored base. Now, something my brother does is he will prime in black, but then will dry brush a gray or a white over it.
Yeah.
Do a heavy dry brush.
Do like a zenithal type thing, but with a dry brush.
Exactly.
Yeah. That seems to be a really popular option.
So, and there is a difference between how the white looks compared to how the gray or bone looks when painting. So here we are. I'm going to start off again. I'm going to start off with this skin. And I'm using the Plague Bearer. What the hell color is this? Plague Bearer flesh for his skin.
For Yoda's skin?
You can see, yeah.
Is Plague Bearer green?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Check it out.
Oh, okay. There you go. Good.
And it's, again, contrast paints are right up my skill level. Because you just slap it on and call it good.
I get frustrated by how hard it is to keep contrast paints, you quote, in the lines. Because they're really like wash consistency.
Right.
And that can be frustrating.
It can be.
Because the whole idea is that you get them on there quick, but if you go quick, then they get all over each other. Or they overrun and you got to go back with a white or whatever your base is and cover it. But anyways, keep going. I'm sorry. I'm not here to poo-poo on contrast paints. I use them. That's what I just used for 2 lightsabers.
Yeah, it's just a technique that you've got to you know,
put it in your
just
toolbox.
like anything. Just like anything, it's you got to know how to wield the tool, as it were. And what would have probably taken me a lot longer, I mean, literally a minute and maybe 2, and his face and hands are already done. The only thing I got to do is I'm going to dry brush gray over his hair. Let's get his toes here. Boom. Done. Bob's your uncle. I think that's pretty good. Again, it's not wanting to focus, so let me go and do a forced focus.
I get it. Nice. Outstanding. Because you're painting a Jedi, you do a force focus. Good stuff.
So there you go. What do you think, guys? Literally less than 2 minutes, and his face is done. His hands are done. That's what contrast paints can do for you. Like I said, I'm going to do a white or a light gray dry brush on his hair once it dries. There you go. Now I need to look up to see what colors are his cloaks.
Tan.
Yoda.
Tan, brown, depending on what scenes and stuff you're looking at.
Of the Sith.
For Revenge of the Sith. I just watched that movie with my nephew. George was a big fan.
Let's see. Let's go back and look at the. Dr. Matt Studio says I'll be turning 30 in April. That's going to be a milestone for me. Hey, dude, it's 30. 30 was a good year for me, to be honest. That's the year I married Donna.
Oh, I was about to say, which wife were you on? But being on Donna does make it a good year then.
Yep. McMurray says, nice job, McMurray. They will be better when based.
Who said that?
Warmutt.
You turd.
Yeah.
But that being said, boom, Kashakalakid, and Kashakalakid.
Me Warmutt says 30.
Warmutt.
Crap, I can even remember what I was doing at that age. Gordon says that's a good way of keeping cracks darker, and then with the light dry painting, it brings out the details. You see, in a lot of cases, like I said the other day, this guy here is 100%. He is 100% contrast paints. I didn't even dry brush this guy.
Yeah.
So that's one of the great things about contrast. You don't have to dry brush. The only reason I'm going to be dry brushing Yoda is it's kind of hard to do white on his hair.
There we go, Chrissy.
Nice.
There's Luke. Again, once the paste dries, I can dry brush so it looks like sand.
Mm-hmm.
And then Darth Maul, since all my other Star Wars stuff is on sand bases, I put him on a sand base as well.
There you go.
And there you can kind of see his face.
Yeah. Have I announced the paint challenge? No, I have not. That's actually good. This would be a perfect time to talk about that. So, April 1st until June 30th, the Chronicles of Not Jay at Not Jay's Tabletop Gaming is going to run a contest. And it's a painting contest. Now, I don't have full details yet, but what we're going to do is between now, we'll go ahead and say now and March 31st, I'm going to create a pinned message in the tabletop, Not Jay's Tabletop Wargaming Facebook group. And I will have the point allowances for each type of model. And then you will add to that message line how many points you're going to commit to.
Oh, I thought this was just an opportunity for Warmutt and I to go absolutely apeshit.
Oh, absolutely it is.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely it is. But for the rest of us, what we're going to do is for you, if you achieve your goal, you're going to get you'll get, I think I'm going to say 5 chances in the drawing. and that's kind of, and the reason I'm doing it that way is because what I'm going to do is for every 50 points someone actually hits, so 50, 100, 150, etc. You're going to get one. You're going to get one chance in the thrown into the drawing. So the more sets of 50 you do, the more chances you get, and if you hit your goal, you get an additional 5. Then at the end of June 30th, we tally up our points, and we see how many. We'll anoint a quote unquote a winner, and then we'll have a drawing based off of your points. Again, 50, 100, etc. Now, to be fair to everybody and not have somebody with a crap ton of models already and say, "Oh, look, I painted this many during that time." I would like to see a submission of each model or group of models, a before and after. So, like, let's say for like you, McMurray, you're gonna, because you paint in batches. So take a picture of a batch you're gonna work on primed, and then a picture of them painted, and submit that in there to show that you quote unquote did that many during that time.
I gotcha.
You can build and prime as much as you want prior to April 1st. But I would like some honesty in saying, no, I didn't paint these on March 3rd. I took a picture and then painted it, and here it is, adding for April 1st. All of this stuff will be thrown into that Facebook group post. So yeah, the
more
prize,
painty on Yoda, Chris. More painty on Yoda.
I will, but I'm checking the comments here real quick. What all your younglings get to 68? Try to remember what you did last week. Shit, Charles, I got that hard enough problem at 52. Time for me to call it a night. Cheerio, folks. Stay safe and take care. Dr. Matt Studio, thank you for coming in. If you're not already subscribing to us, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Gordon says good night. Minnie Warmuth says, well, I'm off to see you guys later on. Out for dinner and clueless on where we're going. Take care. Great, Chris. Love the detail. Brown or tan. Base before paint. I base before paint. Okay. Look at those sweet Star Wars ships. Yes, those are amazing. I'm still waiting to see them paint something. Well, you haven't been watching, Hex, because both of us have been painting I've been painting for the last hour and a half, and McMurray
painted for an hour and finished my 2 miniatures.
Yeah, so there you go. You are prolific, fast. You are even faster than I am. So, okay, I want to look at
Yoda yearns for the mines.
All right. Okay, so here we are. I think I've got these. Okay, so his outer robes are a very light beige, and his inner robes, his pantsuit, if you will, is a touch darker.
Also known as if you do one color of beige, and then you throw a wash on top of it, and then you reapply on the outer. Or no, you're doing contract. So just do one layer on the outer robes, and then another layer on the inner robes. Done.
Yep. Okay, but I gotta find something light enough for it.
What about like Agueros Dunes or Skeleton Horde?
What's that?
What about like Agueros Dunes or Skeleton Horde?
Yeah, I'm seeing if I can find those. There we go. There's Agaros dunes.
And one thing I like to do is you'd always just put a swipe on the base since that's primed the same color and make sure it's what you want.
Right, exactly. Still looking for skeleton horde if I can find it.
Well, test Agaros. If it's what you want, then you don't even have to worry about skeleton horde.
Okay, here we go. I mean, it looks really dark, but on the white it might not be.
How did you get so much green on his base? Oh, his feet. Okay.
Yeah, his feet. All right, that'll be good for the undercoat.
If you get a tiny bit of water on your brush and then you do it, it'd probably be good for the overcoat too.
Probably so. Or maybe, I wonder how Agrax Earthshade would look. That or Sepia. I think we'll look at both of those also.
I think Agrax is probably going to be darker than that stuff, maybe. I'm not sure. That or they're very close. I can't remember.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and drill this on real quick. I want a slightly smaller brush than what I was using. There we go. This ought to be it. This ought to do me. Yeah, this is where we're going with that. That's good stuff there. I could almost do like a combination of this with Apothecary White for his outer cloak. I bet you that would look good.
Isn't Apothecary White like a grayish color?
Yeah, it's actually a really light gray. So yeah, that's turning out. That is turning out. All right. Well, there you go. Can I find my Apothecary White? That's the real question. Garg. Oh, there's Skeleton Horde. Let's take a look at Skeleton Horde. Because Skeleton Horde might be exactly what I want to see. So do you have much more to do on your big ships there?
These are done. I need to paint the Spanish ships.
All right, cool.
Which isn't hard. They're very similar to this thing.
Yeah. All right. So here's the Skeleton Horde. Yeah, that'll work. I think that'll work for me.
But yeah, these are done. I think I'm going to put this game on probably in 1200. So not using this scale, but using half scale on a table that is, I think it's 6 by like 10.
Right.
And see just using actually probably a third scale, using feet instead of yards of a miniature market, just to make sure that everything's good, just as a play test. So I've played Fire When Ready a bunch of times before, but it's never in a convention setting.
Right.
So I want to make sure that my play aids are good and stuff like that with people who've never played the game before. So it'll be good. It's a good test run. I know Todd and I are going to play it as well, which is always entertaining. Todd's a great sport. He has test played a lot of games that were designed to be played by 3 or 4 people on each side, and has test played them phenomenally. So, all praise to the big man. But yeah. That being said, Chris, I got a duck. Are you going to stay on topic and finish Yoda?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All righty, guys.
I'll share photos.
All righty, folks. There we go. There is Luke, looking all 70s teenagery. And there is Darth Maul, looking likewise angry. You can kind of see where there's highlights. They look weird, but yep. All righty, guys. Thanks for coming in.
Take care. Be safe. Be safe tonight. Whatever you're doing.
Yep.
Take care, buddy. All right, guys. So I'm actually almost done with Yoda here. This is what shows you how quickly contrast paints can get you where you want to be. And the thing with contrast paints is they really work best with organic type stuff, like flowing robes or leather or skin type stuff. So it's really really not so great for painting vehicles. I would definitely stay with standard acrylics when it comes to that. But for stuff like this here, I would definitely go there. So we're going to go a little bit longer. Like I said, I am going to go ahead and we'll get Yoda finished here, and then we will get I will base Maul and Yoda and call them good. Let's see if we can get some hair done here. Alrighty. And let's get his lightsaber going. Now his lightsaber is green. I'm going to do one thing here. I'm going to see what this is going to do for me. All right. Let's get a little bit of silver thrown on to the lightsaber hilt. And then we'll find a good vibrant green for his blade. And we're about to call him done also. I do need to go do some touch up on Maul. And get them base real quick. But I'll show you again. I have a cheat code for doing basing also. All right, what do we got for a green? I want a good light colored green. Jungle green. I think that'll do. Nice. Ooh, this is like neon green. All right. Couple of touch-ups real quick. And we're going to call him done. Good enough to go ahead and base him real quick. Let's take a look at Darth. That's sorry, I'm not talking, guys. I'm really focusing on the tips here. I apologize. Do gloss varnishes help on lightsabers? I mean, they could, but I don't tend to worry about it. I just do the matte and call it good. I mean, if you want to go and do that, go to that extent, by all means, do what works for you. Again, I'm not telling you how you should go about painting your miniatures. I just tell you this is my method. What works for me, and what works for me might not work for you, and that's okay. But if you can find what works for you, then do that, man. You rock that process. All right, I think we're just a little bit more. Go back and give him a couple more. Again, on the tattoos, I'm just wanting to get kind of a look. I'm definitely not going to be exactly on the money, as it were. So, all right, we're going to call those good. Now let's go ahead and show you how I base. I'm gonna use this Patchy Plains. I normally have used, you know what? No. For these guys, I want to see how this forest ground cover is going to look. So let's give this a quick stir. I think that's going to look really good. All right. You don't have to use this Geek Gaming fast drying basing glue. White glue, standard everyday white glue, will work just as well. It's what I've used for many years. And it works great with the Geek Gaming Ready Mix. But I've got this stuff, so might as well use it. It's basically like a watered down PVA, and all you got to do is lay it down. Do your best not to get it up on his feet if you don't want to. Get between the feet. Go all the way around. Ah! But yeah, make sure you get a good coating in there. And then once you've got it, you just Dredge it in there. Wipe the edges down. And boom, he's done. Do the same thing with the Yoda. We are almost done with the Jedi Master himself. Just like that. Wipe the edges down. Now, both of them are going to get will get a quick, once that dries a little, both will get a quick paint job around the rim of the base in that German gray, and they'll be done. So I'm going to go ahead and go for now. We're right at 2 hours. I think I did a pretty good job with these guys. Only 2 hours to get them done. As you can see, Darth Maul took a lot longer using the original style acrylics, but he turned out nice. Yoda turned out real good also. So I think, 2 hours of good work. So thanks for everybody for showing up. There's still 5 of you out there. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Be on the lookout for our next live show, which is scheduled for this coming Wednesday. What we're going to talk about, I don't know. If y'all have any ideas or suggestions, by all means, throw it at us on the Facebook page or comment on here. I see all the comments. I do my best to respond when I can. So look out for the photos for these guys. I might even do a couple of quick shorts once they're all finished out. So I want to thank you all for being here. And where we go? There we are. All right. Thanks again for everybody. And until next time, we'll see you on the flip side.